She was one of Hollywood's most quirky, unforgettable talents. A woman who turned independence and originality into an art form. Today we dive into the life of Diane Keaton, from Los Angeles beginnings to Oscar glory, to her final chapter at age 79. Spoiler, it wasn't about money, it was about legacy. Let's go. Diane Hall, later known to the world as Diane Keaton, was born in Los Angeles in 1946, right in the heart of post-war optimism. Her mother, Dorothy, was a creative force in her own right, an amateur photographer and homemaker who filled their home with art and self-expression. Her father, Jack Hall, worked as a civil engineer, the kind of steady presence that balanced Diane's early eccentric streak. Even as a child, Diane was different. She wasn't chasing popularity. She was chasing ideas. Teachers remember her as curious, confident, and constantly performing. After high school, she studied acting at Santa Ana College before heading to New York City to attend the prestigious neighborhood playhouse, where the legendary Sanford Meisner taught her to strip away pretense and perform from the truth. It didn't take long for Broadway to notice her. Her role in Hair put her on the map, but what truly changed her life was meeting a young filmmaker named Woody Allen. That connection led to Play It Again, Sam on Broadway, and then to Hollywood, where The Godfather would immortalize her as Kay Adams, the quiet strength beside Al Pacino's Michael Corleone. By 1977, Annie Hall made her a global icon. The character wasn't just written for her. It was her. The hats, the men's vests, the awkward charm. It was pure Diane. She won the Oscar, yes, but more importantly, she changed what a movie star could look and sound like. She wasn't a bombshell or a damsel. She was real, and in the 1970s, that was revolutionary. After the whirlwind success of Annie Hall, most actors might have settled into a comfortable lane. Not Diane Keaton. She ran the other way. In Looking for Mr. Goodbar in 1977, she shattered her quirky girl image by playing a woman leading a double life, searching for meaning in a world of fleeting encounters. It was dark, daring, and years ahead of its time. Hollywood didn't quite know what to do with someone that fearless. Then came Reds, 1981, directed by Warren Beatty. Keaton played journalist Louise Bryant, another woman carving her path in a man's world. The role earned her another Oscar nomination and solidified her as one of the most versatile actresses of her generation. The 1980s and 90s were an artistic playground. In Baby Boom, she embodied the modern working woman balancing ambition and motherhood. In Father the Bride, she brought warmth and wit to family comedy. Then, Something's Gotta Give reminded everyone that romantic leads don't have an age limit. But Diane wasn't just an actress. She was a storyteller. She directed music videos, documentaries, and even wrote best-selling books. She turned photography into poetry, producing collections that captured the beauty of imperfection. Her secret? Reinvention without losing authenticity. She could be awkward, glamorous, serious, and hilarious, all in one scene. In an industry obsessed with youth and sameness, she kept evolving. Every decade, she reintroduced herself, and every time, the world fell in love all over again. In a world where every actress's personal life becomes public property, Diane Keaton did something radical. She kept hers on her own terms. She never married, despite high-profile romances with Woody Allen, Warren Beatty, and Al Pacino. Each relationship had its moment, but she wasn't chasing the wedding ring. She was chasing meaning. As she said in interviews, "I never found a home in the arms of a man." Instead, she found it within herself, and later in motherhood. In her 50s, she adopted 2 children, Dexter and Duke. For Diane, it wasn't about conforming to timelines. It was about following instinct. She became the kind of mother she had always admired. Creative, patient, and full of curiosity. Her parenting style mirrored her life philosophy. Structured chaos with heart. She encouraged art, imagination, and individuality in her children. She made sure their home was filled with stories, not just things. And while tabloids called her eccentric, Diane called it living. From her famous bowler hats to her timeless turtlenecks, every choice she made was intentional. She wasn't trying to look fashionable. She was expressing who she was. Her independence was a rebellion. It was devotion to self-truth. She proved that a fulfilled life doesn't require a husband or fame or youth. It requires honesty, passion, and the courage to be exactly who you are, even when the world expects something else. If acting was Diane Keaton's career, design was her obsession. She had an eye for the overlooked, buildings with cracks, wood with history, spaces with soul. Over the decades, she bought and renovated homes across California, turning them into masterpieces. She didn't just decorate, she rebuilt. Spanish colonials, rustic farmhouses, industrial lofts. Each property became an extension of her personality. Bold, imperfect, alive. In her book, The House That Pinterest Built, she detailed her love affair with design. For her, architecture wasn't about perfection. It was about emotion. A home should feel like a conversation, she wrote. One that never ends. Her passion wasn't cheap. Between film salaries, real estate investments, and book royalties, Diane's net worth climbed to an estimated $90 to $100 million. Yet the irony? She never lived like a celebrity. She wore the same jackets for decades, drove herself around Los Angeles, and loved thrift stores. Her wealth wasn't measured in money. It was in ownership. She owned her image, her choices, and her freedom. And then there was her style. The hats, the blazers, the tailored menswear, all told a story of self-confidence. She made androgyny chic, turning comfort into couture. No stylist, no trends, just instinct. When you look at Keaton's life, you see a pattern. Everything she touched, from homes to films to wardrobes, became timeless. Not because she followed the world, but because she built her own. On October 11th, 2025, Diane Keaton passed away in California at the age of 79. Her death came as a shock to fans worldwide. The cause, bacterial pneumonia, was sudden, but her legacy had already cemented her place among Hollywood's immortals. The tributes were immediate. Jane Fonda called her a masterpiece of authenticity. Reese Witherspoon said, "She showed us how to age on our own terms." Leonardo DiCaprio posted, "A true original. No one like her before or since." But Diane never cared much about fame. What she cared about was the art of being human. Her career spanned 5 decades, yet she remained the same curious soul who once stood backstage on Broadway, waiting for her cue. In her later years, she became a symbol for reinvention and resilience. She embraced aging publicly, even celebrating her wrinkles and gray hair. She called them proof that I've lived. Her final interviews revealed a woman at peace. She spoke about gratitude, her children, her gardens, her architecture, and how she hoped people will remember her, not as a star, but as someone who loved life fully. When we call her a trillionaire, it's not a statement of money, it's a measure of meaning. Thanks for watching. If you like this deep dive into Diane Keaton's life, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and share your favorite Diane Keaton movie in the comments below. Until next time, keep it original.